Yeah, maybe I should have cleared my throat. And we're live. Good evening, guys. Welcome to Life's Mysteries. I am your co-founder and host for this evening, Emma.
I'm Donna, co-founder, psychic medium for Life Mysteries.
Woo! First time. Oh, Donna. We'll get into that. Guys, we've got an absolutely exceptional show for you this evening. We are streaming off Facebook and our new YouTube channel for this evening's show. So the very first show that we will be on YouTube as well as our Facebook page. So guys, we have a really wonderful guest. So let's welcome our very own Liz Millen. Good evening, Liz.
Hello.
Hi, everyone that's joined. Hello, Josie.
Hello.
I know I'm gonna have to get like names from the. Hi, Kelly, sweetie.
Hi, Kelly. I'm just going to be
Following up Facebook.
Hi, everyone that is coming on. Hello. That'll be
Hey,
Courtney. Hello, Courtney,
Hello.
darling. Hi, David. The stickers do not appear on my screen, so this is David, everyone. So
Everybody's coming up Facebook.
well, the YouTube channel's only just aired, so you're the first ever guest we've had on YouTube. So, everyone, this is Liz Millen, one of the most beautiful women in the world, who we'll be interviewing tonight, and you don't want to miss this one because she's hilarious and spectacular. So, Donna, would you like to open with the first question, sweetheart?
Okay. My Liz,
Yes.
what made you get into the paranormal? What started you off?
Right. Well, I started, right. I don't know anything about paranormal anyway at the start, as we know. I was, because I'd done my own ghost thing and my own wee old truths in Craighill. And I've done the video cam and the camera. Well, I got a lot off of them right enough, I must admit, just with a video cam and a camera. And I was interested in it anyway. And there was a lot happened and all that anyway. But so I started when I started doing the lives on the paranormal, which I was interested in for a long time, I started off with Tracy. Well, Anthony, our uncle Anthony, he said that Tracy was coming up to Scotland, Tracy and Agnes. So that was good. So they came up, and that's when I done my very first live was at the Priory. That was it. We were trying to get the farmhouse right enough, but of course I couldn't see the dark, and I says, "Oh, I don't know, we can't see here, So it was Tracy that brought up the Priory, and we got the Priory done. And that was my first live. My second live with Tracy was me, Tracy, and Charles and Agnes, and we done the psychiatric hospital. That's my second live. That was with Tracy. It was Tracy that started me on the live. So anyway, and then I've just done them all since myself. So that's what started me off.
So we've already fired into a question from somebody. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I've got a cough this evening, guys. Does cell phone work too? If I want to record any spirits at night, like if I'm sleeping or what you think, I'll get something. I'm sleeping on my phone. So I think what they're asking is, do you think a cell phone would work to record things that may be in a house? While someone is sleeping.
Aye, you can use a cell phone. Aye, your recorder, but your video, if you use your video, you can record them on your phone. Yes. You can. That's true. That's true, right enough.
That sounds spectacular, Liz. So you've obviously done a fair few investigations. I've investigated with you myself.
Mm-hmm.
What would now that you've upgraded your equipment, what would you say your favourite piece of investigating equipment is today?
My SLS.
Knew that was coming,
Because
but
I just whoever's storing there, I say, here, you take the live, I'll take the SLS. Yes. Because, I mean, you catch a lot in that SLS. You
I
really
think
do.
Courtney Caddis just called you a hurricane.
Yeah.
Courtney said, I remember when I first met you online, Liz Millen, you came in like a hurricane. Pretty sure she just called you a hurricane. Nice
That's
one.
all right. I'm well of a hurricane. Don't you worry about that.
David, I'm going to just call you David. I've used old micro cassette recorders to capture EVPs. Oh, I like that, David. That is maybe something to. And Courtney said, great to see you all together, Emma Thomas and Liz Millen. Well,
Hi, Courtney. I know I've not spoke to you for ages.
I hope you're doing well, Courtney, darling. Donna, sweetheart.
I've also done investigations with you.
Exactly.
You are a hurricane.
Well, come on, can we stop calling Liz a hurricane, please? She's a hurricane on still.
Well, I do respect the spirits. I mean, they were here before we were. They were living at one time, so they were here before. You've got to respect the spirits. That's what you've got to understand.
David, I do remember you. I just can't say your last name. So I just call you David. Every time I say your last name, David, I say it different. You've got like 80 last names, so I just call you David, but I do know who you are.
Aye.
Scanning the frequencies. Our David, but we just call him David because I can't remember his. I don't pronounce his name right.
I've got that on my ghost box. I've got frequencies and all that. I've got all different things on my ghost box, so I can do all that as well. I've got the Parapost and the SLS on my other phone that I'd use quite a lot actually. So I do. Because I know you can catch a lot of stuff on that SLS. It's really good. So when I go into before I go into investigation, I do my protection as always. And then when I come out, I do the protection. But I like to use SLS because you never know what you can catch, and I've caught a lot on it as well. So
that's not what you meant, Courtney. You meant she was a hurricane. God's face. I meant she stormed the paranormal scene, and all of a sudden she was everywhere. Emma, you'll just call me Emma. Nah, our Liz is a hurricane and a half, and I've investigated with her many a times. Girl's a hurricane and scared of nothing. So in getting to that, Liz, obviously we've posted a picture of your old house in Craigs Hill. So we finally got the picture of the house in question. Now I've been in there, but can you tell everyone that's not been in there a little bit about your old house and how you first in that particular house? What was the first thing you seen, and kind of take it from there?
Right. Okay. Right. Yes, I've seen a lot, right enough.
I'm saying, folks. Right, I'm saying.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I've seen the shadows, the usual shadows carry on. What I used to do is I used to sit and talk to them. You know, everybody thought I was nuts. They all thought it was crazy. Thought I was sitting talking to walls and fridge freezers and all that.
Yeah, it's the split level house, Courtney.
But I'm not the only one that's seen things in my house right enough. I'm not the only one. There a lot of people seen a lot in the house. How it first became about was Jim used to stay with me. This guy called Jim. It was Mrs. Dill's son, you know. So we knew each other for Glasgow. And I says, well, he could stay. I gave him a room. Anyway, so and me and George, though we used to talk to him and that. Anyway, so, and then Jim came out the living room one night, and I was getting up the stair to go to the toilet. And then I was coming down the stair, and Jim went, "Oh, the hairs of the back of my neck was going up." And I says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "There's a big shadow on your wall." I says, "What's it doing? How was the shadow doing?" He says, "It's just watching you." I went, "Hi," the stairs. And Jim says, "Are you mad?" I went, "No, you just talk to them. That's good. That's me starting out. I'm starting off now." So I used to sit in the kitchen myself and in the dark. And Emma, lights always out. Remember? Lights always out. And I sat there at my favourite door, too. And I sat there and I used to sit and talk to them. Now, I could have been talking to anybody. Who knows who I was talking to? It had been good, bad, I don't know. I wasn't given I wasn't given a damn. I was going through something. So I was sitting talking, was telling stories and everything. Well, before I can tell about the darkness and lightness, because it happened to me. Before the light outside used to go out. It used to go off all the time when I was doing my ghost thing. So I used to say to everybody, "I'm just going to do my wee thing," and they knew what I was doing. Anyway, so I was sitting towards them. Anyway, so there was one night I left something up the stair, can't mind where it was. And I went up the stair, and these two red things was right in front of me, right at the living room door.
Mm-hmm.
So I says, I went up and I went, I says, "Well, you're not here for any party. No here for any party, pal. You're going. There's no way that's staying." And I just went right through it. Right through it, I did. And then when I turned round, the thing went light or something. The wee light never went off when I used to do it all the time. And I was like, what's happened to you? 1 minute it's dark, and the next minute it's light or something. Anyway, so I think all the shadows then all came out. They all used to come out. I remember one time, it was tea time, and it was a nice sunny day. I always remember that. I'll never forget it. It was a lovely sunny day. And this shadow went up the wall. And I started watching it. And I went, aye. I says, "That's a copy of my dancing." When I used to do a wee dance in the kitchen. That's a copy of my dancing, But I did see a lot. I remember one time I was sitting in the living room. I was doing different places with the parent my wee ghost thing, doing different things. And I decided I'll do the living room. And I looked at the door, and it was 3 shadows on the door. And they were Vikings. I know they were Vikings. I could tell right away what they were. Big, tall fellas. Big. And I says, "Oh, aye. So I sat and tell them stories too." So I did. But what it is you give them respect. You tell them the stories. You give them respect. No fear. No nothing. No running. Just give them respect, and you're fine. And that's the way it was.
Can I ask, is that the bell that you used to run about with? Now, we know you still have the bell that you used to run about with at 2 o'clock in the morning. Can you just tell everyone watching, because I never understood why you used the bell, so maybe this would enlighten me a little bit as to why you used that bell. Just don't quite get it, is she?
I think she's looking for it.
I'll get the bell.
She's getting it.
Oh, so we've got questions in the audience as well. Hold on, we'll see the bell in question, guys. Now, this bell Liz used to ring, I believe it was roughly 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. She still has it all these years later. Now, Liz has been away from that house for some considerable amount of years. So, can you tell us why that bell was quite important in that house?
Well, I used to go up and down the stairs with the wee bell. Ring-a-ding-a-ling. Come on out. Come out. Because I would draw them out, you see. I used to get them to, I used to try and draw them out as well, you know. And I've done the wee bell here. Everybody says, oh, that's her with that bell again, you know. I done a few things actually. Experiment. It was an experiment. It was an experiment. I done a few experiments right enough in my old house, you know. And they were all around me in that kitchen. I know they were. There was big orbs coming through the wall, and it was only the one wall. I remember it was just the one wall, and it was at the back door. The back door, the glass door, but you know where the door was, Emma. And it was that, you know, the wall, just that one wall where the table was. That's where all the orbs came through. I remember it only too well. Loads and all different ones and everything. And I used to sit and just talk to them. As I say, if you sit and talk to them, and respect them, that they're really fine with you, you know. They've been fine with me, so I don't know.
So, David's theory on the bell is the activity increases when Liz uses the bell. It may be because of the frequency of the tone that the bell makes.
Right, aye. Mm-hmm.
Right, that's... hi, Anthony, darling.
Hi, Anthony.
Yeah, that's a good theory, David. Hang in there, because I want to go back to that at some point. Donna, would you like the next question, darling?
Yes. Tell us about that little cupboard under the stairs.
Oh, aye, the cupboard, aye. The wee cupboard under the stairs.
Can I hide when she talks about this? You know, maybe duck under the chair.
What's that, Hen?
I hated that cupboard.
Did you not like the cupboard either?
No, I didn't really like your house that much, Liz. Gotta be honest.
Listen, I'm in America and I remote viewed that house and nah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the cupboard under the stairs, Liz.
Well, I didn't. I found it was all right. I didn't see it bang yet.
Liz, you thought the whole house was all right, and believe me, guys. And just to answer the question, Michaela's question, things went flying in the house. Everything happened in this house. Like, this was the most active house I've ever been in my life. Just to answer that quick question. So,
fell off the wall, and well, other houses' photos fell off the wall.
So the cupboard under the stairs, Liz, that you seem to love and we seem to...
What did Eunice think about that cupboard? I heard a story about that cupboard. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, aye, the cupboard, aye. I remember that, aye, that's right, aye. Well, me and Eunice went up the stairs and we were just outside the living room door. And the cupboard was... I don't know if it was shaking or... But I don't think it was bad. I think it was shaking. And I says, all right. And Eunice went, do you hear that, Ma? That's that cupboard. Right? I says, just hold on. I went away down the stair and opened the cupboard door and I says, yes, stop your nonsense. And I shut the door. And back up the stair again and done it again. I went away down the stair, opened the cupboard door. I says, stop your nonsense. And I shut the door. And I'd done that about 3 times. And then I went, and it done it. I says, right. I said, stop it now. I says, no more. Because I'm not, you've got me running up and down these stairs, so I don't know what, you know. Because I was up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's the only time I had about the cupboard, right enough, because when it did make that, I don't know if it's shaking or Or was there a wee banging? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I know it was
Just quite a
shaking.
bit. Can we welcome, because the seventh gate's on tonight, so can we all say hello to the seventh gate that have joined us? That would be Jerry. Go and check the seventh gate haunted house out. They're amazing, so give them a check out. We will be interviewing them at some point, but it's nice to see you on, guys, and thank you. Courtney, I love all these ladies. They are great friends of mine. We love you too, Court.
Love you too. But I remember I opened that cupboard. Now it's a wee cupboard, right? You've got a wee bit round that way. So I opened the cupboard. I decided I'm going to investigate this cupboard. So I put my camcorder in the cupboard. That was so dusty, right? But I put my camcorder in the cupboard. And I went in and I'm putting a wee light in and I'm looking about the cupboard. I couldn't see nothing. Couldn't see nothing at that time. And I just left my camcorder rolling, but I never caught nothing. Maybe they weren't there at that time, right enough. You know, they weren't maybe not there at that time. But you see, that's how I show no fear, because that was me getting right into the cupboards. You know what I mean? So, but I never seen anything right enough. But I didn't find anything bad about the cupboard right enough. Mind you, I didn't find anything bad about the house anyway. So
me and Donna have got completely different faces on that. Me and Donna, who have both been there, by the way, have completely different reaction than Liz. Liz is absolutely fearless. And believe me, I have investigated with her myself, and I've known Liz for, well, a really, really, really long time. I was way back in school. So Liz is one of our most fearless, fierce warriors in the paranormal investigating. So although me and Donna, we don't like it, we're good. Liz, she loves it.
Well, it was a long time I've known you, Hen. You were pal of Eunice at the school, remember?
We make a good team.
A long, long time.
Yes, you and Liz would make an awesome team. Yes, Anthony, you are right.
Oh, I would love to investigate with you, Anthony. Really?
Oh, yeah, I think they would do great.
Because I would say, come on, we'll go here. Mom, we'll go there. Mom, go up this wee path. Mom, go this wee path.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's what we love about you, Liz. You really teach us how to control.
Yeah.
I know the investigations we've been on has made me really fearless. But you learn from that generation how to be fearless. Now I'll do anything. I'm a little daredevil, but it was the experience that I got from you that made me that fearless. I'm not scared of anything either. Right, Courtney's not scared of anything either. And Michaela, did you move, Liz, because of what was happening in your old house?
Eh?
Did you move because of what was happening in your old house?
No.
How about dolls, Emma?
No. No.
Actually, to be fair, can I just defend myself on that? Anthony has dolls, and I was not as bad as I usually am with them. So actually, my fear of dogs is subsiding. My fear of a lot of things is subsiding. It's quite cool. Because I'm getting...
It has got a lovely doll.
That's lovely bloody doll.
That's a lovely doll. It is really nice. I mean, my friends had a lot of dolls.
Now.
David, see if you start. I swear to God. Don't even go there, David.
Liz, you saw Anthony with one. He has 4 now.
Oh, Jesus.
4?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
That one I've seen him with, it was a lovely doll, right? It was a lovely doll.
What is wrong with you?
My friend in Glasgow, Mrs. Dill, her whole room was full of dolls. She had baby dolls up in the shelf. She had the big doll at the side. She had another big doll at the side. Dolls all around and everything. But I didn't fear them either, actually, being honest.
Even Donna was looking down there. I think me and Donna are just the same. Do you know what, Donna? Me and you make a good team, darling, because I ain't going there. Do you know what? I'm getting so during these podcasts we learn a lot and we see a lot, and I'm becoming more fierce when it comes to my fears. However, a room full of dolls, I'm not quite there yet. We're not quite in that.
No, she had the baby dolls up on the shelf, and then she had dolls over here. She loved her dolls, and all around, and the big doll was there, another big doll was there, and loads all around, and the dolls was all around us, but we didn't bother. We never bothered.
Yeah, me and Donna would be like that. We'd be like, doll who?
I would be running.
Screaming.
Room full.
You can get some lovely dolls. I don't know if they were haunted or no, but we never thought about it at the time. But they were all around us anyway, so.
And that's the magnificent thing about you, is I have fears, and that's fine. I'm not scared to admit I've got them. Doing these podcasts, you become fearless because you're faced with your fears quite a lot. And, you know, working with Liz, you're faced with a lot of what she does, and it's great. You've got a couple of haunted dolls and a haunted Furby.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I don't like Furbies at the best time. I'm not scared of them. I just find them annoying. I just find them rather annoying. But and that is the great thing about you, is you're so fearless. But you also have a really fun side.
Yeah.
We see you dance quite a lot. We've seen you sort of live life to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
Even on your bad days. How do you keep that energy going?
How do I keep the energy going?
Yeah, like you always, even if you're having a bad time, like if there's a lot going on around you, we still see fun, energetic Liz. Like we do. And even the smile on your face says it all. How do you kind of work around that?
Well, if I feel down, I just go up and dance. Yeah. I'll say, right, no, it's time for it's time for a move here. And I just put my music on. I've seen me, I mean, don't get me, it's talking about the dancing, right, okay. The dancing side, right. No, I must admit, see, when I was young, 14 or something, no, I'm telling a lie, wasn't it? 16, well, 15, no, sorry, 15. We went to the disco, right? Me and my sister went to the disco. So at the school, St. Monica's school at the time, there was a dancing. So we went in for that.
Like
the disco dancing. Well, I get picked out for the disco dancing, see what I mean? And they took me to a club. And I was dancing in the bloody cages.
Liz!
What did I say? Oh, sorry.
I'm absolutely shocked. Listen, nothing you said was wrong. We just heard another side of Liz.
Yeah.
No, I was dancing in the cages. These cagey things. But at the time, it was the cages, you know. Aye, the go-go dancer thing. But,
This is a different kind of show. This is a different kind of show, Liz.
Aye.
Go on, Liz.
That was ages ago, right enough. That's when I was young, you know. Honestly, that's when I was young. Because I used to learn myself dancing, hen. I used to go up in my room and play my music and dance to my heart was content. Yeah. I used to dance all the time. So, aye. So I can enjoy myself with myself as well. And I just go up and I dance. And I dance with the birds. I dance with Mickey. I'm a bit crazy, you know. I'm a bit crazy.
I'm telling you that. So is this David. Right. So David said music and dancing of all varieties will rise the vibration energy inside a person to make you feel more energized and much happier. I think we should like invite David on the show as a shrink.
What?
I think we're going to ask him that later. But I do love your energy, and that story of the go-go dancing is now out on YouTube and Facebook. Please buy your copy at any available store.
I forgot about that YouTube thing, you know. I forgot about that YouTube thing. Man.
Please buy this at any local store from Nice Mysteries. Anyway, Donna, sweetheart.
Okay. What was your best investigation so far?
Best investigation.
Everyone's ears just pricked up.
That was when we were all at that priory.
Is that the time with
I'll never
Smooshman
forget
and Tyler? Or the first time? Because we did two.
The first time when we seen everything. And they took the live down, remember? They took my live down.
Yeah, I remember that because we did it twice and the kids were there. So we had Smooshman, love you Smooshy, and we had Tyler, Eunice, me, Donna was there. Donna, give them a wave.
Yes, Donna was there. Yes, Donna was there.
Everybody was there, and both times were magical. So I was just kind of wondering if it was
were good. But the first time, as I say, was the best one. I'm trying to, because we seen everything. We seen everything. I mean, I just turned the corner on that witch's circle, and I seen this thing with the purple eyes, and I was like, eh?
Yep.
And then I says to Donna, look, Donna, look at this. And she went, I can see it. I went, yes. And so what else we see? We seen was it a wee lassie or something, Donna?
Yeah.
A wee boy and
yeah. We saw
the man at the window, remember?
Yeah.
The man at the window, the light at the window, and that was a baby at the top.
Yeah.
How did that go at the top, you know? Honestly.
And there was no electricity.
No electricity, that's right.
And those two rooms had electricity. Yeah.
And Amanda, she was standing, remember, she was standing looking at it, the light, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we seen, when you and Eunice went into the building at the time.
Oh, yeah.
We seen the lady. We actually seen movement. The lady was moving. They were all moving. Now, and they took that live down. Now, I don't know who done that, but that was the best live. And I don't know who took that live down.
No, for sure. It was one of my favourite because it was like we were getting bang, bang, bang. It was like there's a picture of me standing beside the wall, and all you can see is this dark figure right next to me. But I could feel that. It's like my torch was like, but you can feel that. So it was actually, that was my favourite as well.
And then when you were in the building, this wee green thing was going like this.
Yeah, peeking around the corner.
That was amazing.
But Liz, there's so many more investigations to come.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm just hoping they're as good as that one. I'll tell you that, I know.
Well, we have Greyfire's Bobby coming. Well, Greyfire's Kurt coming up on the 21st. That should be a really magnificent live. You will all see Donna there because I wouldn't go without my Donna.
No.
But so we know your favourite live. Is there?
I wouldn't go Donna either.
I don't go anywhere without Donna. I don't go anywhere without Donna or Liz right now. I'll be like, Liz, help me, Donna, get on this call. Wash my
as soon as you shoot the phone up, right, Liz, alive, right, that's it, I'm on it.
But then Liz does that with me too. Emma, live. I'm on it like the carb on it. Like, you got, like, you know what I mean? And this is what's great about the para-unity world. We just call each other up.
Yeah.
So David says, are you able to get into the crypt at Greyfriars, Emma? Well, we can get into anything at Greyfriars, So we're going to be there on the 21st, but we can get into almost anything.
Listen, Emma. No. Tracy went. It was her last live before she left Scotland. And she went to Greyfriars. I've got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she went to Greyfriars, and she went into it was a cave or something, or was it? I can't remember what it was, but she was right in there. And she was in a cave. I think it was a kind of cave thing, if I was correct. But the light went off. The light went off. They didn't want anybody to see them, obviously. She went right round. She done a lot, and then you could see a lot on it. Oh, aye, she was at Greyfriars. That was her last live before she went back to England. Yeah. So it is going to be more than interesting, Emma. It's going to be a
Oh no,
brilliant live.
absolutely. But then we make it interesting because we work quite well as a team. Like all three of us have worked really well as a team, and
I would love it, but I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I would love to go into that jail thing, but I don't know if we'll be able to do that because I don't know if it'll be opened or not. It might not be. And I would love to go into the church. I think that would be interesting. But I don't know.
so the church, we can actually rent out the church for a few hours of the investigation. Also, the jail, I can also rent out for a couple of hours of the investigation. We'll just do them at separate times.
Right,
so
aye.
we'll rent out the church first, and then we'll rent out the jail, and then the rest of it, you don't need to rent out. You can just use your equipment for.
There's no roof on that jail. And there's skulls all in these bits of Oz, because I've got it in my camcorder. Because I've been to the Greyfriars too, but I went down with my sister. I went down with Kathy. She took me down, and I went. But we were there during the day, and of course, me being me, with that Mackenzie poltergeist thing, and this is in a building. It's in a wee building. I remember it. You go upstairs, and I went right in the window, in the window, and I went. Put my camcorder as far as I could, right down. I was really investigating that.
So I don't know if you've seen this, but this is a question from David. How do you feel a TV show presented the cemetery on their particular episode?
How do you what?
How do you feel the TV show presented the cemetery on their particular episode?
What do you mean a TV? We don't go on the TV. We're not on the TV.
No, there was a programme done on Greyfriars Cemetery.
Right.
I don't know. Oh, do I have to say that name? So the Ghost Adventures done.
The Ghost Adventures. That's right.
Did a live with Greyfriars. I don't really want to commentate on that too much from my perspective.
Right. Aye, they went to Greyfriars. They weren't in Greyfriars long though. It wasn't Greyfriars actually that they caught anything. It was where was it done? It wasn't Mary King's Close either. The undergrounds. I'm sure it was the undergrounds. And he was sitting in one of the rooms next to the wall. And he seen the face coming through the wall. I remember that. Well. But that was in the underground. They didn't catch much in the Greyfriars though. They were there during the day. I say I've been there during the day, but I haven't been there at night. But because I've seen it, it is fascinating. It is real good. And I went to see the wee. They've got the statue of Bobby, the dog, the wee black dog. The history of that as well was that the wee black dog belonged to this guy, and because he was poor and all that at the time, and know how all the weather, the Scottish weather, Emma, and it got to him, and I don't know if he died with pneumonia or he died with something, and he passed away, and the wee dog was always on his grave every day, every night, and howled on his grave every day and every night in Edinburgh. I've seen the film right enough, but my father told me anyway because he came from Edinburgh. But so, and the wee dog, because it missed his wee master, it was so sad, Anyway, they were wanting to put, because nobody owned the dog at the time, they were going to put the dog in a dog home or something. and whatever. So the children, because the dog it ended up trusting people. Like, it trusted the guy that I thought it was a minister or something, and his wife, I think it was, came out the church and used to see the dog all the time. And the dog trusted them. This is how it was, and they fed the dog. And then all the children and everybody in Edinburgh, they fed the dog. And then it came to the court or whatever, and then the children got all their wee pennies, all their monies, all their wee pennies, and went into the court and put their money down and says the dog belongs to everybody.
Wow.
You can't put that dog into a dog home. It belongs to everybody. And that's how, that was another, there's a lot of history to that, but that's the one history that I know about as well, you know.
That's sad.
No, it was
It was a
really
good
sad.
outcome. You know, it's sad, but it was a good outcome that they did that.
It was all the children, they got all their wee pennies, all their tuppennies and threepennies, pennies, you know, at the time, and they gathered them all up and went to the court and just went, put it in front of the judge and just, that dog belongs to everybody. That dog is the whole of Edinburgh, because that's how they've got the statue, the wee dog up, wee black dog, and they've got the statue. It was a wee Scotty dog, and they've got the statue up because
It's a lovely statue.
The statue.
I just feel that sometimes ghost adventures can be quite a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by I didn't really want it, because it can be a really sensitive subject right now. So,
Yeah.
you know, some people agree, some people don't. It's just not something I wanted to fully reiterate on this show.
They never caught much in the Greyfriars. They weren't even there that long. I know that. I've seen a bit of it. And they were actually doing the undergrounds, and the only thing I seen was him sitting against the wall and this face coming through. And I seen that. Maybe some noises or something. But
yeah, I was just...
We know that's haunted anyway. We know that's haunted.
Oh yeah, we know they're all haunted. It's just sometimes when they're brought up, it can be a sensitive subject with different people. As a ghost adventures for me is a sensitive subject. That's why I was trying to avoid that particular one, because it actually bring out a lot of debate. I don't feel is right for this particular live.
Yeah,
I try to diffuse it, because you know, some people agree, some people don't. I try to even away things out. So wasn't I was trying to answer a question. I just feel it's a sensitive subject.
Right.
But
the Greyfriars will be a good one. That's going to be a right.
Yeah, I mean, it will, and I guess until we've done it, we won't really know the answer to that question.
No, that's true. But
so until anyone's done it for themselves and experienced it, we won't actually know the answer to that question, any of us on the show. Once you've done it, I guess you could then answer that question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you done Greyfriars before? I'm assuming you haven't, but you might have. To be fair, I do apologise.
What's that?
Have you done Greyfriars before? I'm assuming you haven't, but you might have.
No, I've been there. I had the video cam at the time. And so I'd done my own, don't know if it's investigation. I'd done my own ghost thing anyway. Because I says I want to try and see if I can catch something in the wee video cam. But as I said, it is a big place. Yes. Understand that. And you've got a bit here. There's maybe the jail there or something. And then like you walk down and there's the Mackenzie ghost thing. It's like a wee house thing or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it's something like that. Then you've got the church there, you know, and whatever. It's all different things, and all the gravestones. I was interested in the gravestones. I had went and seen the gravestones, and because they were really, really old, you know. I seen the church. I went, oh, I'd love to get into that church, you know. I says, I'd love to get into that church, Kathy. I wish that church. And then I seen the jail. I went, oh, I'd love to get into that jail. Oh, that's going to be a cracker. You know?
To imagine you're like that a lot, Liz. Going to be honest. I'd imagine you're like that a lot. We go past a building and you get that feeling.
Why?
Want to go in there? Want to go in there? It's like a kid in a candy store. Want to go in there? Want to go in there? Want to go in there? Like
Don't mention it in the door.
right?
As long as you can walk in the door and out, you know, no climbing through a window, you know.
Hold
But
on.
the Grey Friars is quite a big place. No, I was there during the day. Yes, my sister took me down. She went, "You've not been there." I went, "No." So she went, I had my camcorder and all that anyway. She went, "Right, come on, we'll go down." And we did. And it is a big place. It is a
No.
big
So
place.
question here from David: do you think you all, since you're local to Scotland and the UK, would get more activity as opposed to someone from here in the States? Curious to see if maybe the spirits would connect better or faster with one of their own.
No.
Well, I mean,
No. I've
Huh?
done investigations with all of them remotely a few times, and I get a lot.
I agree with that comment. As opposed to the Mackenzie Poltergeist, yes. I think someone from Scotland would get more interaction. That's
Yeah.
personal. And
Oh,
everyone has their own personal. How about you, Liz?
That'd be me. Aye.
So do you think, like, if we all went there, we would get more activity from, say, the Mackenzie Poltergeist being Scottish than someone from overseas? And because we are one of their own, like one of their sort of own, if you will.
well, maybe
No,
because I'm only
I don't
remotely.
get that. No, wait a minute. I don't get that. No. Wait a minute.
Right, so basically,
No,
the Mackenzie Poltergeist.
No. The thing is, I don't get is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what country you come from. If you're going to get something, you're going to get something. It doesn't matter what how you talk. Well, you've got to talk very good to them. I mean, I wouldn't say if you went to Scotland, if an American fella came to Scotland, that he wouldn't catch. I wouldn't say that, you know.
Well,
Or if
difference
I
in
went to
opinion.
America, I could maybe no catch. I wouldn't say that. No. If you're going to catch something, you're going to catch something. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or anything, Emma. That's
Well,
how
I
I
mean,
see it.
we'll agree to disagree. I do slightly
Okay then.
disagree. Yeah,
I do.
I don't
I
think that's
do.
necessarily true, but I mean, again, that's a split of opinion. I do feel like when somebody from your hometown, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say they wouldn't communicate with someone overseas. It's not what I said. I said I feel like we would get more of a interaction being from the
Yeah.
same country. I wouldn't say like somebody from Germany couldn't come and see the Mackenzie
Yeah.
Poltergeist. Nothing. What I'm saying is I feel the interaction is different
Yeah.
when you're
I agree with
from
Emma.
the hometown and when you're from somewhere different. But you know, we're all going to get different things. Like I said, I've connected with something from America rather than Scotland. You know what I mean? It's weird how it works, but I do feel, and I think the difference in opinion is great. I do see where you're coming from, Liz, but again, splitting opinions of the paranormal world is great, and it's what makes us.
I kind of agree with Emma because being you guys being from there, you know what I'm saying? The interaction and stuff like that, where I'm remotely. So yeah, I do get things, but I'm remotely.
Well,
Yeah, but
look at the time when you and when we were on the video, right? Say right,
Yeah, but
and
I
I
was
said to you,
remotely
Donna,
though.
could you, how would you feel if you went, when you do a channel or something? Could you channel into my old house? And you did. You went up
Oh,
the attic.
I can work international. I have worked international and abroad. But what she's saying is a person being there on the soil, I'm not on soil. I'm working remotely. So
Aye.
yes, I do get things, and I
Aye.
can see the interaction with Scottish with Scottish. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with Emma. I
Aye.
do.
Like I said, the first time I ever did anything, I connected with something for Connecticut. It wasn't from my hometown. So I feel the interaction is different. I don't
Yeah.
feel you can't do it. I feel there's a difference in the evidence you would get.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a wee bit more clearer there.
I
I
do.
think the
I do.
evidence would be slightly different.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. I agree.
yeah. So, we've all experienced things from a different,
Aye.
I
We've all
think,
got, aye.
yeah.
If somebody's got abilities, the way I look at it, if somebody's got abilities, they'll be able to see what they want. So I don't know. If they come out to them, it's only if they come out to them. They have come out
Yeah.
to me a few times, mind you, and I've seen a full body apparition, a full one. I've seen two women and a guy and another guy. No, two guys
Mhm.
and two women in my time, and it was full bodied. It was, but the
That's
guy
like
was right behind me.
Emma. That's like Emma going to this place, okay, and getting
Mhm,
all kinds of activity. And then say,
mhm,
I go by myself and they don't want to come out to me.
mhm, mhm. It's only if they want to
It
come out.
does
If they want to
happen.
come out and let you see
Exactly.
them, they will. But if they
A-
don't want you to see them, they won't.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is where I say I feel the evidence would be different.
Yes.
Depending,
Yes.
but I think we can get that anywhere. But I personally, and not everyone has to agree with that.
Mhm.
But and like Liz said,
It,
we have difference in opinion, and like David said, we stop asking questions, we stop learning.
that's
And,
right.
and
That's right.
and it's great that we can have this because I think it gives me more insight and you more insight into how everybody has difference in an opinion.
Mhm.
But I think it's great. I do feel the evidence would be different.
I think it would
But,
be different, but the way we work together,
Aye, the
mhm.
way we all work
we're
together is
there,
brilliant.
and we're
That's the
Yes,
that's
and
together.
I feel that makes a difference also.
Yeah.
aye.
Working in the team that we work in and as strong as we all are, I think the evidence would be different
Mhm.
together than it would be separate, and I think separate would be different to together, and
Yeah.
and that's the wonder of paranormal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why things are so different,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I love it. I love that, and I don't know how you feel, Liz, but Liz, you've done your back quite a lot, like your back area quite a lot, and you have got a lot of different evidence
Mhm.
from the same area.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
how do you feel about doing the same area and getting a different reaction each time you do it?
What area are you talking about, Emma?
Just out your back.
Oh, the backyard?
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah, the backyard. Sorry, I forgot the
Aye.
word. How?
I
Because I've
know.
seen.
Um, well, I've got quite a few different things, didn't we, Donna? Got quite a few different things, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Aye. Well, see, before I got the doorbell thing, and before we realised that the back was like, where it was, me and Donna I says to Donna, we were on the video, and I says to Donna, oh look, Donna, it's all misty out there, it's all foggy, mind, it's all misty. We'll take some photos. Do a wee bit. Well, come on, we'll do a wee ghost thing at the door, just at the door, at my door. So Donna took my photo. She took the photos, and but we got a wee
It
two
was
girls or
it was
something.
two little girls playing outside her front window where her bird is, and then she went outside the door and I could hear footsteps. Me and
That's
Liz
right.
heard
I remember
footsteps.
that.
I had to take 4 pictures, and I got 2 pictures of a guy back in
Mhm.
the old clothes right outside her door.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how do you personally feel that you've done the same area and got different evidence from the same area? Like all your evidence has been rather different. Some missed, some figure. Like, how do you feel about the difference in evidence from the same area?
I feel great. I mean, there could be times when you can go there and not catch nothing. There could be times when you go there and you catch everything, but they're actually all coming for the field. But I feel great. I just, when I say to myself, I'm itching to do alive, now where can I do alive? I'll just go to the backyard. I know there's stuff out there. And that's what I do. And I go to the back and I've done it during the day, I've done it at night, I've done it all different times in the morning, whatever. When it suits me, I'll do it, you know. It's when it comes on me. It'll just come on me. Right, that's it. I'm going to do alive. I don't care about it. I'm just going to do alive. And then, of course, I go in the back because I know there's plenty out there. And we've got all lots of different things. It started off, it was farmers and miners, wasn't it, Donna? Farmers, miners, carriages, horses, and everything like that. Then it started getting a wee bit.
Actually, it was weird because it was Halloween.
Aye.
And then after Halloween, I don't know what happened.
I know. Everything just went haywire.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Michaela. So what age did you start believing in the paranormal? Was it before you moved into your old house?
Good question.
That's a good question. No, I believe in the paranormal a long way back. I've had all different kind of houses that's had paranormal on them. I mean, that Craig's Hill house just wasn't just the one. There's been all different in Glasgow. All different houses in Glasgow where you could hear things in stairs or you whatever, blah blah blah. But I've always believed in it. Funny enough, I knew there was something there. Funny enough, so yes, there always was something in the houses. It didn't matter what house it was, but there was always something in the houses. Because our house, my mother and father's house was right next to a field too, right next to a field as well. So it was, but I've always believed there was something. When I was 5 or 6, I seen real angels, real fairies. Sorry, fairies. They came to me for a week, and I don't know, and I didn't understand that right enough, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I wasn't frightened. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved it. I really loved it. And that was at 5 or 6. You see things, different things. I've seen different things and all on the walls, different things, you know. Oh, aye. You know, that's just the way I'm up it. I don't know if that's the way I've been born, but that's it. That's just me. But I did see real fairies, to let you all know. Yes. They came to my room. They were on my bed. They were doing zigzags and all different things. They were all different colours. And they're, I don't know about that size. They were quite wee. They weren't, I wouldn't say they weren't big, right enough. They weren't big. I know that. They were beautiful. Beautiful. It was sparkly, beautiful, like lighting. Oh, it was gorgeous. And I was amazed at first, and I told my mother and father, and they thought I was dreaming. They thought, aye. They didn't believe me. And nobody believes you, didn't they? Anyway, but I said, well, I'm not caring. I'm going in to see my fairies, so I'm not caring, you know. So I couldn't wait to go. Is it time for bed, Mum? I'm about to go to my bed now, you know.
Nah, time me question, Liz. We've got another 2, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Do you feel lucky in yourself to have lived in so many paranormal houses? What was the most haunted house you lived in? From Michaela.
The most haunted house I lived in. Now, I've been in a few. Well, the first house I ever had. Well, I was in my mother's, but that was the first house I ever got. In Craig's in Glasgow. We heard. Well, what was funny, right enough, the funny story here. Me and my man at the time, we were in the room, in my bed, and the kids was in their bed at the time. And then we heard these footsteps coming down the hall. It was just a flat. We were in a bottom house. It was just a flat house. We heard these footsteps coming down the hall, and it stopped outside your door. You know. And I'm looking at George, and George is looking at me, and I'm saying, "Hey, there's footsteps in it. Is that somebody outside the door?" And he went, "Aye, Liz, aye. But we'll just keep quiet here. We'll just keep quiet." Keep quiet. I says, "No, come in there. Whoever you are at the door, would you like to give us a wee visit? Would you like to come in, you know?" And George went, "What are you doing, Liz? Don't do that. What are you doing? Don't do that. Oh my, what? Are you off your..." He used to think I was mad, you know. Anyway, so but the house, what did you say was the what house?
Have you? Oh, sorry, that's a different question. Sorry, we've got a few questions. Do you feel lucky in yourself to have lived in so many paranormal houses? What was the most haunted house you lived in?
The most haunted house I would say was Craig's Hill, actually. I'll get back to that again. That was the most haunted one.
Okay, next question from Josie. Have you had any voices or whispers in your ear without expecting it? Quite, she laughed there.
No, just when you say that. No, I know. Right. Okay. Right. The first time that happened to me was in the cemetery. No, I'm telling a lie. I'm telling. The first time that happened to me, I was 18, and my boyfriend at the time gave me a, it was a big gold chain with a big, it was a big thick cross thing. I can't, oh my God, it was dead long. And he made a black and white photo, and he said it was God. He said it was God. So me being me, he says you put it up the wall, Liz, and at the top of your bed, and you'll be fine. So I done that. Me being stupid, I know I done it. And then I heard, Liz. I was like, what the hell, And then I heard, Liz. And then it was getting closer and closer, and I went, what is going on here? What in there? So I jumped up, don't get me wrong. I went out the room, actually. I did go out the room at that time. I went down the stairs. My sister was down the stair. And I says to her, Kathy, I'm hearing my name up there in that room. Where's it coming from? I can hear it. Anyway, so, but everything was fine. I think I fell asleep in the chair in the living room or something with my sister. Anyway, because I didn't like that Liz thing at the time. I wasn't sure of it. Didn't like it. So anyway, the next morning, my mother gets up and she went and she goes to hold my father, and they look in the room, and my mother went, "Where on earth did you get that?" I says, "Well, my boyfriend gave me it." "Oh, did he? Very good. Well, that's coming down, and don't you ever dare put that up on your wall again." Because she was a Catholic. She was a religious Catholic. She says, "That's evil. That's evil." She went, because I could hear what whispering. And, well, that was the first time anyway, to cut a long story short. Well, I took it down and gave it back to him. And then I said, well, I'm into my room anyway. And I mustn't stop me getting into my room, And I could still hear the wee Liz at the time, but it was fading away, So that was one time. That's the story to him. The second time was at the cemetery. I'll make it quick. The second time was at the cemetery. When it was only me and Tyler, me and my grandson, it was at the cemetery. Just the two of us. We went in, blah, blah, blah. We went down the lane, and we heard voices. That was fine. it was sounded like children, right? We went all in it. Anyway, but came to the end. Well, me being so thing, I says, well, you put the live up at the wall, son, and you'll see the faces because you can't see faces in these walls, right? You can see all the faces. That was fine. I think I'd done the bad boy, I didn't know. Anyway, I'd done that. And then we heard, and we got to the corner, and then we heard, hello. And then, all right. Then I heard the shh right in my ear. And I went,
What you're
that
called.
sounded like a cat. Did you hear a cat? It sounded like a cat hissing in my ear, son. And he went, no, Granny, but I certainly heard that hello. So whatever it was, anyway, was to be one of the days, but I don't know. Anyway, so, and we just stood there, we didn't run, and everything else, just was calm. And I was just laughing a bit all, just laugh, made the maid laugh, and everything else, and then just walked calmly out the cemetery. The other time it happened was we went into the wee woods with these witchy things or something. But Donna, I'm sorry, but I did forget to do my protection when I came away. I know, but never mind. So I went into the house. I was watching with the kids in my daughter's house quickly, and I was on the couch and I fell asleep and I felt this thing in my shoulder. So of course I sits up and I says, "What the hell, what's going on here?" And then this in my ear, and I was like, what's going on? And all this. I don't know if it sounded like a message or something, It was like talking, but you couldn't hear what they were saying, But it was definitely, it's always this here. Yeah, see this one? That's the one that always cops it. Anyway, so I done the protection and all that carry on, and one went and that. I says, I'm not kidding, I'm going back to sleep. I think I fell asleep for about 10 minutes. And then I heard at the window, the chapping at the window, the chapping at the window. And I went, go away, I'm not interested, I can't be bothered, I'm too tired. And then I heard, bang! This was on one night. And then I heard there's like 3 knocks at the back door or something. And I says, to hell. I says, I'm not bothered. I'm not getting up. I can't be bothered. I'm just going back to my bed. So I just went to sleep. And that was all happened in one night. Anyway, so yes, I have.
Donna, would you like to comment on the fact that she didn't do protection? Or
I know, it was only once.
you got scolded on a podcast?
I taught you protection. Bad girl.
I know. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Josie. Do you know what it is? I'm in the process of moving. I'm just a bit run down. I don't think it's a cold. I think I'm just a bit run down. You get like that. But I am all right. It's just a bit of rundownness.
Liz knows her protection.
I know.
But she did do that night. That's what we're telling you. She went in there unprotected, Donna.
When I came away, it was only one
protection going in, but she didn't coming out telling them to stay.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You're scolding Lizzykins here. David, I never say any words of protection before I go into an investigation.
No, it was when she came out. She went to a bunch of witches. It was a bad place.
I'm pretty sure you'll get scolded later, David. Bad boy.
Bad boy, David.
I feel that it would keep all activity away, so I go in absolutely naked. He means biblical. He means biblical, right? I hope you mean biblical, David.
Oh, he means
you mean biblical, David, Josie. So I just heard 2 ringing in my ears earlier. Does that mean anything? Not necessarily. 2 rings in his ears. I don't.
So Donna can answer that one, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Well, it depends if you have abilities. I mean, no. I mean, I get ringing in my ears, but if I'm getting messages, it sounds like a bee's nest. It's not really ringing.
I think I'd give you a little bit of advice, Josie. When you hear things like that, try and debunk it.
Yeah.
Try every possible way to treat it like it's not paranormal.
Yeah.
And if you cannot figure out a reason, and sometimes it's usually just ringing in your ears.
Yeah,
And
because
that happens. So
Yeah.
try and debunk it until there's no physical explanation. And then I think, because we all are quick to jump on it spiritual, and
Yeah.
it's like David running about naked in an investigation. I'm kidding, David. But always try and debunk it until you can't figure an explanation.
Yeah.
And then
I block
come
it.
to, yeah,
I block it.
like Liz said, always
Block
try and debunk it until there's no
Yeah.
other explanation, and then you can look down a spiritual or another route. And I always say that to people when I know Liz on
And
many
if it
occasions.
was only one time, if it was like constant, it's still it depends if you're sick. It depends if you're getting an earache. It can mean so many other things. It can mean so much.
I get your things in my ear. No bells.
You're welcome, darling.
Ringing, or whatever you call it. But I don't bother with it because I say, I can't see your name again or something, But
Sometimes it's just coldness.
This thing that went in my ear, like the hissing sound, that wasn't the ears.
Yeah,
And the other
it's
thing
different.
that was doing the messages, that wasn't the ears. I knew that right away.
No, when I get like messages and you're not open, it sounds like a bee's nest, but that's changing. So, the ringing, usually it's like if you're getting a cold, or sometimes people just get a ringing one time and it goes away.
Mm-hmm. See, I
So,
block it. I
Yeah.
block stuff. When I come back from investigation, or maybe this wee thing will happen, or this wee thing, or there might be a shadow on the ceiling where I was when I come back from cemetery. It was about a man, and he was on the ceiling top of my head.
yeah.
I looked up and I says, "Oh, what's this? What's going on here?" But that's the kind of things I do. And then I'll turn my back, and then I'll look out, and it's away. And then I'll just go, okay, and I'll sit there on that couch, and I'll just block it. But that's what I do. I block it. You just block it, and they just go away. If it's a bad thing, they just go away. You just block it.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about a ringing.
No, don't worry.
If it just happened one time and it went away. If it was quick and went away.
But
Yeah, it's
it all
not
depends
something.
what kind of ringing it is. So it all depends. Is it messages he's getting, or is it?
No, a
hissing,
ringing is not usually a message. Not that
Like
I'm
I
aware
say,
of.
always try and debunk things until there's no reasonable explanation, and then look for the answer in that. Sometimes it'll lead you to spiritual, sometimes it'll lead you to it would lead you to maybe there is something don't always assume it's spiritual, because if it is something medical and we are telling you to assume that it's spiritual, then you're going to end up worse. So always try and check stuff out and get it clarified that it isn't something medical, and then go down the route, if it's still happening, that it might be something.
Yeah.
So I'd say that to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Always get yourself checked first, and then go down a spiritual route.
Yeah.
But aye. Well, that's what I do, folks. Everybody that's out there. That's what I do. I block when I need to block. I think that's the best thing. But I'll always do my lives, and I'll never stop.
Yep.
And that's that.
That's you all told. Just so y'all know. Oh, y'all know that Liz Millen, she does her lies, she'll never stop.
Yep.
And I think we're graced with it because I love your lives. Even when I'm not attending, I'll watch, and I
Yeah.
do love the younger generation that we're bringing with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big thing to
Yeah.
bring
Well, I
our
don't mind
young.
that. I don't mind helping. I mean, I'm not for helping. Letting them, I'll explain everything to them. You know, I can
Yeah.
explain things and all
Yeah.
that. But they're really interested. Like my grandson. You know, he's only coming up after 11 now.
Well, a
Um,
lot of them watch like our videos and stuff to learn. So this way, you know, we stir them right, you know.
Just keep
That's
them on the
good.
right path, is what I say.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. And guys, Liz has her own page, which is the Paranormal Family.
Aye.
Well, that was taken.
Family paranormal.
But we are getting late here in the UK, so if you do want to check out, if you've got a question for Donna, ask her privately. Because we're getting late here in the UK now, and so, and it's Liz's show, obviously,
Yeah.
Liz. You got to
Yeah.
bow out
I was gonna
gracefully.
say that earlier. This is
Yeah,
not
this
my
is
show. It's
yeah.
Liz's show.
This is if you have any questions for Donna, you can get her privately.
Yeah. This
But
is
if
not
you
my
do
show.
want to keep in touch with Liz, it's Liz Millen, or you can check out Paranormal Family.
Yep.
And what an amazing page! It's a Liz and her daughter Eunice. Great page, great investigations. Go over, check those guys out, support those guys.
Yep.
I want to thank everyone for being on the live tonight. David from Scanning the Frequencies, what an amazing show he did on Monday. If any of you guys was there, I was there.
Yes, I did. Yes,
I heard it
he
too.
was in. Yes, I did.
David, I did go back and I did finally hit what you said and I did listen. Thank you.
I was there tonight. I was sitting listening. You could just hear Fabian. Wonderful. But guys, go and check out Scanning the Frequencies. Amazing group, amazing page, and they're free, awesome people.
Yeah.
Go and check out Dark Phoenix Paranormal. Also another amazing group, amazing couple of women there. Strong is my girls. So go and give them a check out. Mama Bear, she has a raffle on her one on Shimmering Art, which is a new page. And can we all send prayers and love to Mama Bear because she's not well? So a lot of love and prayers there. Anthony Cabellos, he is Texas Wraith Hunters. Go and check him out as well. He is absolutely amazing. And we do have the Dark Phoenix Paranormal and Scanning the Frequencies are pinned to the top of our page. And also Mama Bear's page is pinned up there also. So definitely go and check all these guys out. Liz, thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, you're a beacon of light.
Love you.
You're absolutely a beacon of light.
I love you all the audience. Thank you very much for watching.
Guys, we will be back on the 11th. We have the Dark Phoenix Paranormal coming on, and you do not want to miss that one. That might be a slight tad explosive, but only here on Lice Mysteries. We do have an investigation this month, guys. We will be going to Greyfriars Kirk, so keep
looking forward to it.
The midnight moonlight there in the UK. I don't even know if the moonlight's out there. And keep your clothes on, David. We all know what Scanning the Frequencies does now. It's been said in the podcast. But yeah, that's just some of the things we've got coming up this month. Although, David, behave yourself. We do have a lot of special stuff that I've got in the pipeline and we've got the okay for. So you want to keep an eye out for that. But from Lice Mysteries this evening, it has been a wonderful show. And we will be back on Tuesday. But everyone give love to Donna. Her second podcast, and she smashed that. She is amazing. She's doing so good. So let's all support Donna and give her some love because She's
Yeah.
doing wonderful.
You give
Oh,
me
yeah.
lots of love.
Okay, guys, from us here, it's a good night for me, and Donna and Liz are away to party, and David's away to get dressed.
Good night for me.
Good
Good
night,
night for him.
everybody.
Night.